History of volleyball. Volleyball was introduced by William G. Morgan in the year of 1895 in Holyoke, Massachusetts, USA. He decided to blend basketball, baseball, tennis, and handball to create a game for his classes of businessmen for less physical contact. During the game, Alfred T. Halstead remarked that the players seemed to be volleying the ball back and forth over the net, and from then on, the game is called volleyball. The first name of volleyball was Mintonet. In 1910, Mr. Elwood S. Brown introduced volleyball to the Philippines. In 1913, first-man Asian Games held with 16-man volleyball system, participation of China and the Philippines. In 1922, the volleyball was proposed as an Olympic sport. The first two-man beach was played in 1930. The volleyball was acknowledged as Olympic sport in 1959 after a successful exhibition tournament in Sofia, Bulgaria. Japan introduces the six-man system in 1958, while in 1964, the first Olympic volleyball tournament was held in Tokyo. Volleyball is a team sport played by two teams with 6 players each on playing court divided by a net. The object of the game is to send the ball over the net in order to ground it on the opponent's court and to prevent the same effort by the opponent. Facilities and equipment. The playing area or court shall be rectangular and symmetrical, measuring 18 by 9 meters surrounded by a free zone which is a minimum of 3 meters wide on all sides. A player's equipment consists of jersey, shorts, socks, and sport shoes. The color and the design for the jersey, shorts, and sock must be uniform for the team except for the libero. Player's jersey must be numbered from 1 to 18. For FIVB, World and official competitions, player's jersey must be numbered from 1 to 20. Playing format. A team scores a point, 1. By successfully grounding the ball on the opponent's court. 2nd, when the opponent team commits a fault. And 3rd, when the opponent team receives a penalty. To win a set, except the deciding or 5th set, is won by the team which first scores 25 points with a minimum lead of 2 points. In the case of a 24-24 tie, play is continued until a 2-point lead is achieved. To win the match is won by the team that wins 3 sets. In the case of 2-2 tie, the deciding set, 5th, is played to 15 with a minimum lead of 2 points. Playing actions. Ball in play. The ball in play from the moment of the hit of the service authorized by the first referee. Ball out of play. The ball is out of play at the moment of the fault, which is whistled by one of the referee, in the absence of a fault at the moment of the whistle. Ball in. The ball is in when it touches the floor of the playing court, including the boundary lines. Ball out. The ball is out when the part of the ball which contacts the floor is completely outside the boundary lines. Consecutive contacts. A player may not hit the ball 2 times consecutively. Faults in playing the ball. 4 hits. A team hits the ball 4 times before returning it. Assisted hit. A player takes support from a teammate or any structure object in order to hit the ball within the playing area. Ball crossing the net. The ball sent to the opponent's court must go over the net within the crossing space. Ball touching the net. While crossing the net, the ball may touch it. Service. The service is the act of putting the ball into play by the back right player placed in the service zone. First service in a set. The first service of the first set as well as that of the deciding set is executed by the team determined by the toss. The other sets will be started with the service of the team that did not serve first in the previous set. Service order. The players must follow the service order recorded on the lineup sheet. After the first service in a set, the player to serve is determined as follows. 1. When the serving team wins the rally, the player who served before serves again. 2. When the receiving team wins the rally, it gains the right to serve the rotates before actually serving. The player who moves from the point to the back right position will serve. Authorization of the service. The first referee authorizes the service after having checked that the two teams are ready to play and that the server is in possession of the ball. Execution of the service. The ball shall be hit with one hand or any part of the arm after being tossed or released from the hands. Only one tossed or release of the ball is allowed. Dribbling or moving the ball in the hand is permitted. At the moment of the service hit or takeoff for a jump service, the server must not touch the court or the floor outside the service zone. A player or group of players of the serving team makes a screen by waving arms, jumping or moving sideways during the execution of the service, or by standing group to hide the flight path of the ball. Faults made during the service. Serving faults. The following faults lead to a change of service even if the opponent is out of position. The server, first, violates the service order, and second, does not execute the service properly. Faults after the service hit. After the ball has been correctly hit, the service becomes a fault if the ball, first, if the ball touches a player of the serving team or fails to cross the vertical plane of the net completely through the crossing space. Second, if the ball goes out. And third, if the ball passes over the screen. Serving faults and positional faults. If the server makes a fault at the moment of the service hit and the opponent is out of position, it is the serving fault which is sanctioned. Instead, if the execution of the service has been correct, but the services subsequently becomes faulty, the positional fault has taken place, first sanctioned. Characteristics of the attack hit. All actions which direct the ball towards the opponent, with the exception of service and block, are considered as attack hits. During an attack hit, tipping is permitted only if the ball is clearly hit and not caught or thrown. An attack hit is completely at the moment the ball completely crosses the vertical plane of the net or is touched by an opponent. Blocking, block attempt, completed block, collective block, blocking contact, blocking within the opponent's space, block and team hits, blocking the service, and blocking fault are considered faults of the attack hit. Interruptions, intervals, and delays. 15 regular game interruptions. Number of regular game interruptions. Each team is entitled to request a maximum of 2 timeouts and 6 player substitutions per set. If it exceeds the limitations indicated in rule, a team must impose an illegal substitutions. The team is penalized with the point and service to the opponent, and the substitution is rectified. And third, the points scored by the team at fault since the fault was committed are cancelled. The opponent's points remain valid. Exceptional substitution. A player, except the libero, who cannot continue playing due to injury or illness, should be substituted legally. If this is not possible, the team is entitled to make an exceptional substitution beyond the limits of the rule. An exceptional substitution means that only player who is not on the court at the same time of the injury, except the libero or his or her replacement player, may be substituted into the game for the injured player. The substituted injured player is not allowed to re-enter the match. An exceptional substitution cannot be counted in any cases as a regular substitution. Substitution of player is the act by which a player other than the libero or his or her replacement player, after being recorded by the scorer, enters the game to occupy the position of another player who must leave the court at the moment. Substitution requires the referee's authorization. Timeouts and technical timeouts. All timeouts that are requested last for 30 seconds. In the deciding fifth set, there are no technical timeouts. Only 2 timeouts of 30 seconds duration may be requested by each team. During all timeouts, the players in play must go to the free zone near their bench. Improper requests. It is improper to request any game interruption during a rally or at the moment of or after the whistle to serve. Second, by non-authorized team member. Third, for player substitution before the game has been resumed from a previous substitution by the same team. And last, after having exhausted the authorized number of timeouts and player substitution. The libero player. Only one libero may be on court at any time. The libero cannot be either team captain or game captain at the same time as performing as libero. The playing actions involving the libero. The libero is allowed to replace any player in a back row position. He or she is restricted to perform as a back row player and is not allowed to complete an attack hit from anywhere, including playing court and free zone, if at the moment of the contact the ball is entirely higher than the top of the net. He or she may not serve, block or attempt to block. A player may not complete an attack hit from higher than the net if the ball is coming from an overhand fingers pass by a libero in his or her front zone. The ball may be freely attacked if the libero makes the same action from outside his or her front zone. Referee's official hand signal signature.